All right. What do you know? We have ourselves a new boogeyman. Now all of a sudden, the new and biggest threat to us all is the alt-right. Now what the hell is the alt-right? Well, that depends on who you ask. The individuals that people label the alt-right didn't prop up yesterday, but of course, with social media, it doesn't really take long for something to become the topic of conversation. Some people say that it simply means the alternative right, which is different from modern conservatism. So this would include a wide range of different people and a lot of different philosophies. But the general definition that people have clung to is that of white nationalism, white supremacists, fascism, racism, xenophobia, and things along those lines. So even if folks have more admirable motivations to combat these people that advocate for this, it has opened up a door for a new boogeyman for the people that want to, of course, play identity politics. Generally, alt-right is just a derogatory term that is associated with things that are put in a negative light. But over the last year, hell, over the last month, we've seen things like fascism, racism, and xenophobia be applied to a variety of different things because people, like to make up definitions on the fly. Don't want open state borders? You're a racist. Oppose the Civil Rights Act? You're a racist. Oppose the state's refugee program? Racism. Same idea goes for fascism. There's hardly ever any honest dialogue. So you have a great combination and opportunity to pigeonhole your enemies into a derogatory label. You have a new boogeyman to point to that's the source of all of our problems. And of course, there are so many individuals that do not want to be associated with these kinds of people. And that's completely understandable as to why someone wouldn't want to be in the same category as white nationalists and fascists. People are now so worried about deflecting that they aren't even trying to bring the conversation back to an honest one. And that plays right into the hands of the people that love identity politicking to advance their agenda. You've allowed them to turn the conversation into one of semantics rather than ideas. So rather than just focusing on the term alt-right, if I see someone label something as such, I'd ask them to define it. And rather than pearl clutch or virtue signal or yell from the rooftops, I'm not a member of the alt-right, I'm going to force you to have an honest conversation and point out how your notions are just moronic. These fools can't even agree on who the individual members of the alt-right are. Some say it's Donald Trump, but he recently disavowed the alt-right. Some say it's Milo. Well, he said on numerous occasions that he's not a member of the movement. Some say it's the more admitted guys like Richard Spencer, or maybe even a David Duke. And as Ben Swan notes, people are slapping on this label of alt-right on all kinds of people, even opposing philosophies like nationalism and anarcho-capitalism. But this stems from the fact that the term is seen in a negative light, so folks are desperately trying to apply it to whoever they want in order to discredit their opposition. Folks on both the right and the left do this. People want to use isolated situations like Richard Spencer and 200 random folks gathering together of the National Policy Institute saying, "Hail Trump." And they want to make it seem as if this is the representation of the reality. Like it's just so many white nationalists and fascists, and they're gonna kill us all. At best, this is nothing but what is called the Chinese robber fallacy, which is people taking isolated incidents and making it seem as if that issue was prominent. So the millions of human affairs that exist in which people of different cultures, races, demographics all act peacefully and cordially amongst each other, well, they want to disregard all of that. Or situations in which 200 people have linked up together and made a completely different statement. Now, I'm not saying that people should embrace nationalism or racism or fascism. I oppose that stuff as much as the next guy. What I'm asking for people to do is just consider it all in perspective, all while considering the ulterior motives of others as they like to play semantics. There's a lot of people that are threats to liberty, but these punk ass white fascists aren't the most prominent ones, no matter how much you gaslight, no matter how much you pearl clutch and virtue signal contrary to your beliefs. And I'm certainly not knocking anybody for wanting to combat racism and fascism and nationalism. I'd argue that many folks of the alt-right have a lot of similarities with the people on the left that they oppose. And to be completely honest, the main folks bitching and bickering at each other are cut from the same authoritarian cloth.